Hi, I'm Kerry from Frankston City Libraries, and today, before we start our school holiday program, I'd like to do an acknowledgement of country. Here is the sun, and here is the earth. Here are my friends, and here am I. We acknowledge the people of the Kulin Nation on whose land we play and learn. So today, as part of our school holiday program, we're going to be making bath bombs. It's going to be lots of fun. Bath bombs are great if you want to add a fizz to your bathtub, and they can be really relaxing too. They can make great gifts for people, or you can use them yourself for your own bathtubs. So before we start, there's going to be a few things that you're going to need. We're going to look at the ingredients. Hopefully when you looked on the Facebook site, you already got the ingredients. Some of them I already had at home, and some I've had to buy. So the ingredients that we will need to make our fizzy bath bombs are corn flour and bicarb soda, Epsom salts. Now you don't need Epsom salts, but they actually make the bath bombs really, when you put them in the bath, really relaxing and soft. You will need some oil and some food colouring. Today I've chosen pink to make some pink ones, and some fragrance or essential oils to put in your bath bombs. Citric acid, and citric acid is what makes the bath bombs fizzy. And just in this cup here, if you can see it, just a little bit of water. Just have a little bit of water handy. So that's all the ingredients. And for the utensils, over this side, you will need 2 bowls. So these are just my bowls from home. So a small bowl and a larger bowl. You will need some measuring cups, and I've got those here. You will need some measuring spoons and a fork or even a whisk. And I just added a spoon here in case I need a spoon. And then you'll need your moulds. So I had this at home. It is just like to make little ice cubes out of in heart shapes. I thought they were pretty cute. But you could just use yogurt pots or anything sort of round. I did set some of the bath bombs yesterday in one of the measuring cups, and that turned out pretty well too. So all the moulds, you don't have to have special moulds. Okay, hopefully you've got all that in front of you, because we're going to start making our bath bombs now. So, in the big bowl, which is this big bowl here, we're going to mix all the dry ingredients. So let's put those aside and see what the dry ingredients are. So the corn flour is a dry ingredient, the bicarb soda, the Epsom salts, and the citric acid. And the others are the wet ingredients, which I'm going to put over here. So we're going to have to measure some of these out. So first of all, we're going to need half a cup of bicarb soda. So I get my measuring cup, and I'm going to put half a cup in here. And what I've done, I found if I put it in my bowl, that if there's any little bit of mess, that it goes into the bowl as well, which is good. So half a cup, and also I've put something over the table in case it's a little bit messy as well. I'm going to get the smaller spoon. So this is the half a cup of bicarb soda. And hopefully you're at home measuring yours out as well. Now this will stay up on our Facebook, so you can go back to it again if you forget how to do it. So there's my half a cup. I'm going to pour it in to my bowl. So that was half a cup of bicarb soda. Now a quarter of a cup of the citric acid. So I'm going to get my quarter of a cup measurement. And can you see that okay?
Yep.
And I'm going to pour that in. Now this is what makes our bathtub fizzy, bath bombs. So if you want to make them even fizzier, I would add a bit more citric acid to yours, if you want them super duper fizzy. Okay, 2 tablespoons of corn flour. So I've got my tablespoon measuring spoon here, and I'm going to add 2 of those, 2 tablespoons. And I'm trying to make it fairly flat and measured. So 2 of these. And this is one of the dry ingredients, and another one, so there's 2. And now the Epsom salt. So remember I said this is what makes your bathtub relaxing. So we need 2 tablespoons of Epsom salts. So 2 of these. One, 2. And I think that's all our dry ingredients. So now we're just going to mix those up. So you can either mix them with your fork or mix them with your spoon. And what we want to do is to combine all those dry ingredients. So we want to mix them all together so they're all mixed in together. That's called combining. So we're going to combine all of that all in together. And I'm just doing that with my fork at the moment. So there's my fork, and all those dry ingredients are now mixed in. Okay, so now we're going to put that aside, and we're going to start with our wet ingredients. So for that, I'm going to need the other bowl that I had here. So in the second bowl, we need 2 tablespoons of oil. So 2 tablespoons. And again, I'm going to get my measuring spoon, and I'm going to tip the oil into it just very slowly, very gently. And there's 2 tablespoons of oil. Now I did list the different oils you can use. This one is olive oil. So you can see my oil is in the bowl there. And now I'm going to add a few drops of food dye. So as I said, I chose pink for today. You might like to choose blue, purple, or yellow, anything, your favourite colour. So you don't need a lot, just a few drops. So I'm going to put a few drops into there with a steady hand. A few drops. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And that's going to make the bath bombs nice and pink. And then, what did I have to add then? Oh, some of my essential oil. So essential oil, you can have lavender. This one is dewberry, lots of different essential oils, and that gives them a really nice fragrance. So I'm just going to tip that in there, and that will give them a really nice smell when I'm having my bath. Okay, at this stage I don't add any water, because what I'm going to do now is add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. So I'm going to tip that into here. Make sure I get it all out. I'm going to use a spoon for that. So there's all my wet ingredients. You can see the food dye there and the oil. So I'm going to use a fork, and I'm going to use the fork to mix the ingredients in together. Now we don't want it really, really wet. We want it a little bit clumpy. So we're going to mix it all in together. You can see a bit of the pink coming through now. And try and bring the mixture all together. And this is where, you know, it can get a little bit messy, but I can smell the beautiful fragrance coming out of that. And you can see my colour coming through. And as I said, it has to be a little bit clumpy. We don't want it too wet because we have to put it in our moulds. So there we go. Now I'm just going to see what that feels like, and if I need to add a bit of water. So at this stage is when you can have a feel of it and see if it's all going to stick together. Now, for that, I think I'm going to need a little bit of water. So I don't want to make it too wet, so this is where I had my water. I'm going to tip just a little bit into the bowl, just to make it stick together a little bit, and then you'll see it fizzing. That's the citric acid making it fizz. So that's looking pretty good, and I think that little bit of water just helped it a little bit more, but not too much, just a tiny bit. That will make it stick together. So now I think I am ready, that I've mixed it with my fork. To stick my hands in. So I might roll up my sleeves, this is the fun bit. And I'm going to try and put it together like a dough. And if at this stage I think it's still maybe not quite clumpy enough, you'll know when you feel it. If you're not sure, ask your grown-up to have a feel of the mixture. See, it's a little bit crumbly there. I might just add a little bit more water, but not too much, otherwise it's going to be too wet. It's a little bit like an experiment, isn't it? And again, it's fizzing. I don't know if you can hear that or see it. Because you want it to feel and be just right. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, that feels a bit better. It's a little bit wetter. And can you see how it's all sticking together a bit better? So there's mine. Bit like pink dough, isn't it? But we're not going to eat it, that's for sure. Alright, so I've got my mixture all good. Now I'm feeling hungry. And as I said, I'm going to stick mine in this little mould here. I don't need to do anything to it. I just need to put the mixture straight in. You know, I'm just thinking you could even use that cup, like a paper cup, if you haven't got anything at home, you could put your mixture in there. As I said, I actually used the measuring cup, and I made a big one from the measuring cup. So now we need to put our mixture into our moulds, and we need to press it down. This is where it gets a little bit messy, but it's also lots of fun as well. So I'm pressing it down. Now, because I've got the heart shape, I have to try and make it into that heart-shaped mould. So I'm going to use all these up, and these will make tiny little bath bombs. You might have a bigger mould, and you might like to make, say, 4 big ones, but this is going to make lots of little ones. I don't know if you can see at the front here, but these are ones that I made yesterday, and they've hardened overnight, and so I made them in the little heart mould here, and I've had to cut the edge off this side because they were overflowing a little bit, and that's the big one that I made in the other mould. So the main thing is we're having a bit of fun. We're going to try these out. So I keep pressing them down into this mould, and press it down fairly firmly so that the mixture all sticks together. And you can see how I'm doing that there. So you would just keep going on from there, sticking them in your mould and pressing it right down. I might use the rest to make a big one. I'm just going to stick it in the cup. And that's where I've got a really big one, so that would make a lot of fizz in a bathtub. And I'm pressing it down into this, and it came out beautifully. Came out really easily. I'm tipping it in, and then I'm going to press it right down so it all sticks together like this. Now, as I said, if you want to revisit this, making bath bombs, it will be up on Frankston City Library Facebook. You can go back on there. We're going to leave it up for a while, and you can make some bath bombs with your friends or your siblings, your brothers brothers and sisters. So you can see how I've got a big bath bomb there, and that's how I made this one here. So that's all there is to it really. And now I'm going to leave those to set overnight, so for a whole day and night. And then the next day when I chip them out, and you chip yours out, hopefully they'll all be hardened like these ones. And we're going to try one in the warm water here. I'm going to use the big bath bomb. Are you ready? I'm going to put it in the water here, and if you can zoom up, Sarah, we can see it. It's going to fizz. Oh, can you see it? And can you hear it? Sounds great. You can see the water's going all pink and soft from the Epsom salts. That makes me want to go home and have a bath now. I think I might have to leave work. Beautiful. So that is how you make bath bombs. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you can make some at home. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you. Bye for now.